Well, hey there. Today I'm going to be doing the Disney Pixar bracket. And I'm actually a huge Disney fan, obsessed. Pixar is okay. I do have a favorite movie, so I'm curious to see if it wins. I feel like it will. It's always weird to me when people do this and they're surprised what their favorite movie is, like you didn't know what your favorite movie was going into it. But it'll still be fun to take a little journey through the past. Just a reminder to subscribe, helps me a whole bunch, and I put out new videos every week. So, let's get started. First battle is Lion King versus Tarzan. Big Lion King girl. I even have videos of me when I was little, just taking a little Simba, moving him around, and like singing to him. And Mufasa's death definitely traumatized me like it did most of the 90s generation. So that's definitely a top contender. Tarzan has an amazing score. I just think that it can be a little like predictable, but I also really like Turk, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Lion King on this one. So next we have Princess and the Frog and Lilo and Stitch. Princess and the Frog has amazing artistry, and I love the whole New Orleans vibe and the beignets and the music. And I also thought it was really cool to have kind of like a sassy prince who didn't want to like follow the, I don't know, decorum of a normal prince. So I thought that was interesting that you kind of got to see some character development with that one. Lilo and Stitch is definitely something from my childhood, but I think Princess and the Frog is going to win out just because I really love those like willow trees and the bayou and all of that artistry. I think was really gorgeously done, so I'm gonna have to go Princess and the Frog. Now if I have to choose between Lion King and Princess and the Frog, I think I'm gonna go Lion King only because it makes me laugh still. You know, if you have any scene with Pumbaa and Timon, it's gonna make me laugh. Like even the fart joke in Hakuna Matata, like come on, it's a classic. So I think I'm gonna have to pick Lion King. So next we have Tangled versus Big Hero 6. I think I'm definitely going with Tangled on this one. I didn't originally want to see Tangled because I was at that age of like, oh, Disney is not gonna be good anymore now that it's not the golden age, and now that I'm not young, like I'm not gonna like anything. But I ended up seeing Tangled and thought it was really charming and cute. The voice acting was really well done. However, on the other end of the spectrum, Big Hero 6 came out when I was older, and I just really didn't enjoy it. It got really dark, and you know, I actually liked that they took it there and they really wanted to experience kind of that spectrum of emotion, but I just kind of thought it was boring. I think Baymax is adorable. I just didn't really resonate with the story, so I'm definitely going to give that to Tangled. Next we have Frozen versus Moana. So again, Frozen is like Tangled, where I was really skeptical about the newer Disney stuff, and I saw it and just thought it was really charming. It's something that, you know, you can put on anytime and just know that it's gonna pep you up, and it's got great music, some funny moments, some adult jokes in there which are great. And again with Moana, it's so funny, these are the same situation. It's newer, and while I didn't hate it, it's not something I can really rewatch over and over again. One, not a big ocean girl, so like the fact that she's like in the ocean, I always freak out and think that she's gonna get like stranded in the ocean, and that's just like an inner fear. But it just wasn't as fun to watch for me personally. Although I do love Lin-Manuel Miranda, I love Hamilton. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of parts of the songs that you can hear that were in Hamilton, so that kind of took originality out of it for me. So I'm gonna have to give that to Frozen. Now, going between Frozen and Tangled, I'm going to pick, oh, that's tough, for Frozen. And I think the reason for that is I think that the Frozen songs are just a little bit catchier. You know, Tangled, it does have some really good songs, but I think you really only think of like When Will My Life Begin and At Last I See the Light. Those are the only two that you really can like jam out to, in my opinion. So I think I'm going to do Frozen. So Lion King versus Frozen, I'm gonna say Lion King just because it's a classic. That's like your childhood. That's the one that you had like the little plates that had Lion King on it. You got it from McDonald's. You got the little toys. You like got all the stuffed animals. I still have a stuffed Simba in my room. Like, I think it's just one of those like iconic things from our childhood. So going back to the smaller bracket, next I have Aladdin versus Hercules. I haven't seen Aladdin in a while, but I think that the songs are definitely better than the ones in Hercules. I don't know. I love Go the Distance. I actually did it for an American Idol audition. I love Won't Say I'm in Love. But I think Aladdin's just a little peppier. Again, like, songs that you can sing and, like, have fun singing. So I think I'm gonna go with, excuse me. I think I'm gonna go with Aladdin. Guys, some of these choices are just coming out of the woodwork. Like, these are things I didn't even know I felt about these movies. Next, we have The Little Mermaid and Pocahontas. So, again, Golden Age era movies, obsessed. Like, Little Mermaid's amazing, Pocahontas is amazing, but I think during Pocahontas, there's like a lull when you're talking, like, after John Smith's like, oh cool, Native Americans are dope, and they've fallen in love. I think there's a little bit of a lull before we get to the climax again, so I think it kind of get a little boring. So for that reason, I'm gonna go Little Mermaid, even though, you know, Colors of the Wind is a banger. I think I'm gonna go Little Mermaid, just because, again, some really iconic songs. Part of Your World has been in my, like, repertoire that I've sang since I was little, and even though she's 16 and obnoxious and it's not, like, a great message to just, like, change your life for a guy or for a partner, I think I'm just going with the classic, like, good feeling. You know, you want to pick movies that just give you the fuzzy, warm feelings. Next, we have Mulan and Zootopia. Look, I'm just gonna say Mulan right off the bat. Like, let's not play around. Mulan is great. Great song. Make a Man Out of You. That can get you pumped for anything. Interview, make a man out of you. First day of school, make a man out of you. Just anything can get you pumped up. So boom. Zootopia is great. Like, I get it's a deep movie, like, but no. Next, Beauty and the Beast versus Nightmare Before Christmas. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie. So, like, this is the one where I'm like, look, I know this one's gonna win, but I'm just curious to see where the other ones fall. I mean, the music, the love story, like, I know the whole thing of, like, oh, was it Stockholm Syndrome, but it's a great movie, so let's just calm down. Alright, Nightmare Before Christmas, it's really interesting, I think, as a cinematic work. I think that the animation was something that we hadn't really seen before, and for that reason, it was, like, an exciting movie, but I do think that it can be a little dark. Like, it's Tim Burton, so if you're going in wanting that vibe, then it's great. But I think if you're just talking about, like, Disney movies, not as pumped up. So I'm gonna go Beauty and the Beast. Now I have to compare Aladdin and Little Mermaid. I'm gonna go Little Mermaid because I feel like there's just so many cool, like, moments in that movie where she gets the dress after her tail goes away and she's on the rock and she, like, turns into a beautiful, like, sparkly gown. I would rewind my VCR just to see the moment where her tail would turn into a dress, and I was always so upset because there wasn't, like, a clear transition moment. Like, they cut away and I was just so salty about it. But, like, I think for that reason alone, I gotta go with it. Next, we have Mulan versus Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast, like, look, Emma Watson, stop. Beauty and the Beast, Hermione, Belle, put them together, put them in a movie, put some good jams on there, love. Alright, so looks like the final oh, now I have to compare Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, because, come on, stop. Okay, now for the last one on this, it's Lion King versus Beauty and the Beast, Beauty and the Beast. Okay, now we have the Pixar side. Again, keeping it real that I'm not a big Pixar girl. I'm definitely more of the classic Disney animation, but I'll give them a fair shake. Okay, so Up versus Brave. Unpopular opinion, I think Up was garbage. I think the storyline was boring. There wasn't enough music. The beginning was depressing. Like, I just do not care about Up. Brave is cool for the accents. I'll be shooting for my own hand. Like, and that female empowerment and those cute little bear cubs. Obsessed with the bear cubs. But even Brave I'm not too crazy about, but I'm definitely like it more than Up, because Up is probably my least favorite Disney creation, under one other one that we'll get to. So Brave wins that one. Toy Story versus Toy Story 2. Doing Toy Story, just, it's a classic. Like, next we have Coco versus Cars 2. I never saw Cars 2 or Coco. So for this one, I'm just gonna go Cars 2, just because I feel like Coco would creep me out with the skeletons. Just keeping it real. Toy Story 3 versus The Good Dinosaur. never seen Toy Story 3, and I feel like so many millennials are going to be upset about this with me, but it just never happened. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking about some dramatic life decision. It just never happened where I had a moment to see it. I know that there's some big dramatic moment at the end where they think they're all going to die. So I just feel like it would scar me for life, so I haven't watched it. I have seen The Good Dinosaur, and I actually thought it was cute, but again, it was not good. So for sake of knowing that Toy Story was good originally, I'm going to do Toy Story 3. So now I have to compare Brave versus Toy Story. I'm going to go Toy Story. And then Cars 2 versus Toy Story 3. I'm going to do Toy Story 3 just because I have seen parts of it and they were fine. Okay, so now I have to choose between Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 3. You can just see the era. You can see the through line. I'm going to go Toy Story just because it's good, you know? No complaints. You got the little lamp that stomps on the Pixar logo. Alright, now we're getting to the smaller bracket. Ratatouille versus Bug's Life. Ratatouille, I honestly don't know if I've seen the whole thing. I feel like it's one of those movies where, again, it's like on in the background, so you think you've seen it, but you just can't remember specific details. Parts I've seen are fine. I don't know. I'm not in love with it. Bug's Life, I haven't seen in a hot minute, but what I do remember is like those little bugs, like the ladybug and the caterpillar, and collecting those little dolls they sold at McDonald's of them. I feel like you can see that my childhood was shaped by fast food a little bit, but loved those. So I'm gonna go with Bug's Life just because, like, oh my gosh, and the grasshopper that was played by like James Wood, I think, or maybe Kevin Spacey, one of those like actors. Next we have Finding Nemo and Inside Out. Finding Nemo, I think it's a cute story. I love Crush. I love Dory's like innocent little like personality and her cute little freckles, and like Squishy with the jellyfish. That's a cute moment. And also just, I didn't like Inside Out. I thought it was boring. I thought that I couldn't relate to any of the characters. Like, I didn't care about the characters at all, really. I thought it was an original idea, and, you know, someone who's a mental health advocate, I think it's really interesting to dive into those emotions and psychology and all that stuff, but it just wasn't good, in my opinion. So I'm going to have to go Finding Nemo. Now, if I'm choosing between Bug's Life and Finding Nemo, I think I'm going to go Finding Nemo, only because I haven't seen Bug's Life in a while, so maybe I just need to be refreshed on it, but I just know that I enjoy watching Finding Nemo. You know, if it's on Netflix and I got nothing else to watch, I'll put it on. Next we got Monsters, Inc. versus Cars. I'm going to go Monsters, Inc., even though Life is a Highway is a bop. Like, that song played on a loop, I feel like, for years, where it would just be a Saturday afternoon, driving in the car, Life is a Highway is blasting through the speakers, and you're just hanging out, you're having a good time. So I'm gonna pick Monsters, Inc. though, because Mike Wazowski, Billy Crystal as Mike Wazowski, I think, is so funny. The comedic timing is amazing. I think that you look at Mike Wazowski, and he's one of the examples of comedic timing that, like, you're introduced to as a child. Like, you don't know it's comedic timing as a kid, but the physical comedy and the sassy remarks, like, that's all very much shaping your comedic, like, taste, I feel like. So I'm doing Monsters, Inc. And then lastly we have The Incredibles versus WALL-E. Now, this is my least favorite Disney created show, is WALL-E. I think it's depressing and, like, just morbid, and like, I did not enjoy it at all. I watched it on the way on a school trip, and I was just like, this is terrible. I hate this. So this is definitely my least favorite Disney movie. So Incredibles is winning, and also Incredibles is just a good film. I feel like you got like a lot of action, you have the superpower aspect, and then also just the timing was really good, so the pacing just never feels slow or like there's a lull. So I'm gonna go Incredibles for that. Now, if I have to choose between Incredibles and Monsters, Inc., I'm going to go Monsters, Inc. Again, just because I feel like that timing, Mike Wazowski, I think, really makes that movie. So I'm going to go Monsters, Inc. Now, if I have to choose between that and Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc. Now, my final two for Pixar are Toy Story and Monsters, Inc. For this one, I'm going to go Monsters, Inc. because I think that, I didn't even realize this, but I just think that Billy Crystal's really great, I guess, because anytime I think about that movie, I just think about, like, the sassy notes, and then how he talks to, Roz, I think is her name? Oh, don't tear me apart in the comments. But I would do that, hello, Clock Tower, I would do that impression from when I was really little, when I first saw it, and I think that was just a big display of my theatricality, but I would always be like, Wazowski, you didn't hand in your paperwork last night. Oh, that darn paperwork, couldn't it just blow away? I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching. And now, granted, like, I know it's not a hard impression because you just kind of make your voice nasally, but I thought I was just so incredible for knowing how to do that. So that means Monsters, Inc. is my favorite Pixar film. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney one. I'm doing Beauty and the Beast. Now, funnily enough, I haven't seen the cartoon one in a hot minute because I mean, the music's just good. It's classic. You get that love story, like lovey-dovey stuff. And you also get this personality that I guess I just relate to because I relate to her personality type a little bit, you know, like a bookworm who kind of just goes about her life and sees the best in people. Now, I know that people have a big argument about the whole Stockholm Syndrome thing, and, you know, was she just with the Beast because he was her captor? And that's like valid, like that can be your opinion, but I just think it's a cute love story, and I like that she looks for the beauty inside and makes him want to be a better person, and I think that that's a really cool message. Even if you don't think some of the details are that great, that's fine, that's valid, you're free to your opinion. But that's that. Beauty and the Beast won my ballot. So I would love to know in the comments what your favorite Disney and Pixar movies are, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Mischief managed. Subscribe.